Welcome to the G.N.A. podcast, Games, Nerds, and Alcohol, where Dee's wife slams the door behind him, and that is what I'm going to use as a sync point from here on out.
Sounds like a good one.
How you feeling, Dee?
Not too bad. Surprisingly good, actually, considering.
Yeah, I was going to say, your house got swept with the virus.
It did.
Oof. Hardcore, man.
It did.
I'm glad everybody's feeling okay, though.
Yeah, especially with the comorbidities, yeah, with bad lungs and stuff. It's a good thing that it's still doing all right.
I mean, positives, you're going to have antibodies. Next time it comes around, you'll just kick it right in the cock.
Actually, I think what helped me is the fact that I think I already had antibodies, not just because of the fully vaccinated and boosted, but I actually believe I've had it while I was back in Germany.
Really?
Well, I was in Germany, of course, November 2019, and it was circulating there. We just didn't know what it was, and they didn't have a name for it, right? But they knew it was circulating at that time. Well, when I was over there about, I think, December, it was either December or January for about like a week, I started coughing real bad. I had a really bad coughing fits, and a couple of times, I had to take my inhaler, and I thought, shit, I can't breathe right. I might be going to the hospital. But then it kind of cleared up, went all better. I was like, okay, cool. And then the weirdest thing happened. I was like, the hell? I got back, got back home, and I thought, I kept talking to, the wife, and I was like, Jesus, the weirdest damn thing. It's like, I lost my sense of smell. Like, I lost my sense of smell and taste for like 3-4 months. I couldn't smell anything. And we kept thinking, maybe it's due to the neurological thing I already had going on, or an injury. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And now in retrospect, since I've been exposed to it so many times, even before being vaccinated, and I never got it, I'm like, shit, maybe I already had antibodies. I may have had it already. So
maybe.
Considering how many months I lost my sense of smell and it came back fully, like I fully have my sense of smell back now. It's the most plausible.
As I say, you can always go get an antibody test. You can request one from your doc and get an antibody test to find out.
Well, now I've been exposed to it so much up and close, and I had the symptoms a few times during this past, couple weeks. I didn't pop positive on a test, but I'm fairly certain I have the antibodies now, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had kids cough in my face, like... for days now. There's no way it hasn't entered my body in some form or fashion.
Yeah, it's violated you.
It has.
Violated you, girly man.
Yes, but yay, vaccines.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's your choice, of course. Like, you want to get a vaccine, you don't want to get a vaccine. All up to you.
Yeah, it's not going to bother me either way. Personal choice.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I not only respect your choice, I encourage you to exercise your choice.
Well, I help defend freedom.
Yeah. On the flip side, if you went and got your vaccines, cool. If you didn't, cool. I did. And I got to admit, everybody that I've talked to, because now this last Omicron that's been going through has been hitting a lot of different people. And I mean, there's still some serious side effects. One friend of mine has it, and he got struck with Bell's palsy.
Ouch.
So, yeah.
I'm fairly certain without the vaccines, the wife, she would have been either ICU or even worse. I'm fairly certain. Because she's been fully vaccinated and booster, and it was Delta, so it's the one the vaccines actually work for, and it was Delta that swept through our house. So, I mean, it was
and that's one of those things of people don't, like, vaccines aren't meant to, like completely stop the virus. Like, they're not meant to completely obliterate you being able to catch it, you being able to transmit it.
They can't do that.
But no, they can't. Exactly, they can't. But what they are designed to do is they are designed to shorten that lifespan of it. So if you are contagious for a week, then it shortens the contagiousness. You being contagious down to a couple days or sometimes even hours. Sometimes
and most importantly,
with some vaccines it can move down there.
Protect against severe disease and death. That's really the big point is survive it, build the antibodies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like polio. Polio's been eradicated, but the reason polio's been eradicated is because there was a vaccine which slowed the spread, or stopped it in most cases. But it's the same exact features, the same exact functions.
But even when they had the polio vaccine, eventually, because it wasn't as contagious as like an airborne thing, but even it was a bloodborne disease. But even so, with the contagiousness of polio, even people that got the vaccine, they actually had a case where there was two twins that both got it. One was vaccinated, one wasn't. Of course, one fucked up and died, and the other one just had a minor case of it. They still got it, but it was fine. They weren't ending up with the iron lung or paralyzed in a leg or any other wacky shit that polio used to do to people.
And I have an uncle who lived in England who actually had polio before there were vaccines and stuff, and he survived it, but he's got a permanent limp because of it. There's all these different permanent things that come from it. So, I mean, look, if you've got reasons that you don't want to take it, that's on you. Cool. I implore anybody who can take it to take it, because there are a lot of people out there who cannot take it, who cannot get vaccinated. And those people who cannot get vaccinated, if they wanted to get vaccinated and they can't get vaccinated, if somebody who just decided, I don't want to get vaccinated, all of a sudden gets near them and gets them sick, then they're suffering because you exercised your choice. So, I mean, if you've got a strong reason, go for it. But I would implore everybody, if you can.
See, I always fall back to statistics. It's like, what's my chances? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always look at it as like a numbers game, like anything else. There's always a chance something goes wrong, but you want to look at the most probable. And I like to look at the probability. It's like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, take it from this angle. You got 10 people in a room, okay? 8 of them can get a vaccine, and 2 of them can't. All right, so I mean, those are pretty good numbers. I think the numbers are way lower. I think it's more would be like 0.5% of people can't get vaccinated.
Yeah,
like,
it's a tiny
percentage.
Allergies
or something like that. But
yeah, it's allergic allergy to, I think, something in NSAIDs, like certain painkillers like Tylenol they can't have. They can't have the vaccine either.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, you got those 8 people who can who can, yep. And they do. And let's say one of them has an adverse effect. When really, again, that's way higher numbers than there actually are. But let's say one of them has an adverse effect.
Because there's always a chance.
Yeah, there's always a chance. Well, absolutely. And that is a risk that you are taking.
Because ironically, the first 2 shots, no adverse effects. I actually had an adverse reaction to the third, to the booster, and so did the wife.
So I actually got in a really great conversation with somebody about that.
Really?
So, yeah, okay. And hear me out on this, because this made a lot of sense to me. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. Because I always used to get sick when I got the flu shot. Mm-hmm. And then I stopped getting sick after, I think the 4th or 5th time. And I just stopped, and I say sick, I got a day of, I'm lethargic and I'm a little well, with both shots, mm-hmm. I felt I had an effect. Mm-hmm. With my 3rd shot, I had a very, very minor effect. When I started talking to somebody about it, they actually, I was saying, I really had I kind of had a crappy reaction to the first 2. And they said, that's great. And I said, well, what do you mean that's great? And I said, I had a bad reaction to the vaccine. I said, no, you didn't have a bad reaction. You had an expected reaction. Yeah. Your body is trying to create antibodies. So if you are having a reaction, that is your body actively trying to fight off whatever just invaded it.
Yeah, it believes it's fighting off an infection. You're building your immunity.
Exactly. It's like, if your body had a reaction, that is the best thing that you could hope for, because your body is building immunity towards whatever invaded it.
But I didn't have a reaction. I had an adverse reaction. Big difference.
Like what?
Well, you see, and this happened to both me and the wife, which was fucking bizarre, right? Because it was done correctly, so the shot was given absolutely correctly, because we know how to do it correctly. Wife being medical, me doing medical field before. And the person did it perfect, but she got a day after me. So I got it, of course, got the bad headache and some of the, things, from it, because
some of the normal things. Yeah.
The first 2, my body, I get immunity, but I almost never have reactions to any shots. It's just my body. I'll get the immunity, but I won't get the reactions, which is cool. So the first one, no reaction. Second one, a little bit, headache. I felt a little bit, right? Third one, I got the really bad headache. I got a couple of the normal reactions. Cool. Woke up the next morning. My heart sped up. Like when you run, say you push yourself hard in sprints and you got to stop because your heart's pounding?
Oh, yeah.
Mine started that at 6 in the morning and didn't stop till 8, 9 o'clock at night. We're not talking about even if I rested, relaxed. It wasn't anxiety, right? I mean, I was kicked back trying to relax, lay down. It just raced the entire time. It turns out that I'm not the only one that has had that. Other people went to the hospital. I should have. Yes.
Heart fibrillation.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't fibrillation. That's, different. It was tachycardia, sped up heart rate. So I had tachycardia.
Okay.
So my heart rate was one of the fastest it's ever been in my life. And I've been in the Army, I pushed my body. I'm sitting there like, Jesus Christ. by the time we were getting to bed, I was like, if this doesn't stop soon, fuck work tomorrow, I'm going to the ER. And then it started slowing back down to normal. I was like, okay, cool, finally. I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning, and then Jess sped up and did the same thing, worse than mine. And did it. Lasted like 16 fucking hours. For like both of us, almost 16 hours. And it happened to both of us.
That's so odd.
There was a woman... There was a woman that reported that in England.
That she just totally gets the shitty end of everything. Like, if you get something, she gets it 10 times as bad. She always gets the shitty end.
I know, it's terrible. But, and this is not like to say, hey, don't get the boost, not at all. I mean, my body is everybody's bodies are unique, and I don't know why I had that reaction. But, because...
Yeah, no, and then that's that heart. Well, I said palpitations or fibrillation. I was just thinking my brain was going fibrillation, irregular heartbeat. That's where my brain was going. And I know the yeah, and I know fibrillation is a completely different thing from tachycardia.
Yeah, so I just had tachycardia.
And tachycardia is actually what my dad had, and I should have known that, but my brain just went to fibrillation.
It's all good.
Anywho,
there's a lot of those similar terms.
Irregular heartbeat is actually one of the rare side effects that you can get. Now, I'm saying rare. Somebody's listening to this, they're probably like, well, that happened to me too, and I know 15 other people that happened. Well, okay. It's great. It's still technically a rare situation.
But even so, a raised heart rate is even a normal reaction as part of your immune system. You can get an elevated heart rate. The problem was mine wasn't just, mine was very elevated. Like, I've been sick with viruses before, and my heart's never done that. I mean, you've heard it like raise a little bit, but it wasn't like, the heart rate was like, gee, I should probably go to the fucking hospital like fast.
Well, and so the thing is, everybody's body, as you said, super different.
Yep.
Everybody's anatomy is roughly the same, but how that anatomy works with everything else is just really weird. Almost up to
there's actually a percentage of the population. I learned this doing anatomy physiology in college, when I was still doing pre-med in medicine. There's actually a percentage. It's under 20%, but it's actually a bigger chunk than you would think, right? That actually have the organs on swapped on the other side, like everything's flipped, mirrored. Yeah. It's bizarre. Like
most
cool.
People's anatomy are
pretty similar.
I mean, you still got 2 lungs, you still got 2 kidneys. Most of their basic anatomy is still there. Now we can get really into the weeds. I mean, if you really want to pick me apart, I've got extra bones in my body.
Yeah, you're one of the X-Men. You're one of the X-Men.
I was going to say, that's not a normal thing to have an extra bone running down your left arm. Okay. But it's weird. But everybody, but my basic anatomy is still there. Yeah. My heart is still there. My lungs are still there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody's like, everything works differently on so many different people. I mean, just take a look at like something stupid like allergies. Okay. Like,
tell me about
it. You can have somebody who is deathly allergic to shellfish. And I mean, deathly allergic to shellfish. And then you got somebody who like can sit there and chow down on shrimp all day long and not have a fucking problem. Pineapple. People like they actually have like massively like huge allergic reactions to pineapple.
Yes. I've known somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a wild thing of like, some people are just allergic to some of the weirdest things.
But it can happen at any time in life, too, because remember, I was an adult. Yeah. Now I'm allergic to fucking everything. You used to know when we were kids, I was a trash compactor. You want to eat this? Sure, I didn't care. And you got to care of the world.
But as kids, you were like, oh, I'm allergic to dust and I'm allergic to chocolate. And I'm like, well, why are you eating chocolate? And then you'd sit there and start twitching and give a little coffee like, I like chocolate. And
no, I wasn't allergic to chocolate then. I was allergic to seafood, but not as bad. Like, I was still eating tuna fish at that time. I could still eat certain seafoods. But yeah, I had an allergy to like dust and pollen, but...
You're allergic to tuna fish? God, I feel bad for Firebox.
Oh my God, the tuna fish allergy is brutal, man. Like my organs start swelling shut, like the pressure increases inside me. And it's not just like, like the swelling shut of the throat, like you get... No, my lungs, the actual bronchioles, everything, my stomach, my intestine, everything swells shut. And even if they stop the reaction and go through the hospital, I'm still in agony for a week. It's like painful as shit. And just a little bit will do that. It's awful.
Man, God. And like I've got weird allergies. Like I've got seasonal allergies. I'm allergic to dust and all that stuff. But it's like the one allergy that is like, okay, you're allergic to shellfish. Don't eat shellfish.
Yeah.
You're allergic to peanuts. Don't eat peanuts.
Yep.
My biggest allergy, real kick in the dick, antibiotics. So basically what I'm being told is don't get sick.
I mean, is it all antibiotics? Because I'm allergic to penicillin-based antibiotics and sulfa-based antibiotics. There's still some I can have, but I'm allergic to most of them.
So I have not found an antibiotic that I don't have an allergic reaction to.
Wow. Ouch.
Now, most antibiotics, I have a very what's the right word? I won't say exothermic or explosive. It's anaphylaxis that I have, but I was trying to think of a creative way of saying it, like, fantastic thing. But yeah, so
You pretty much implode.
I get
go with
the
Kira.
good stuff. Yeah, I pretty much do go, like, I become a full body rash, my throat closes up, my eyes swell up, and, like, I just sit there and fall into a puddle and die. So, like, that's a shitty end of the allergies. So, like, oh man, like, I could take being allergic to shellfish. I just never eat shellfish. Or I love peanuts. I could even take being allergic to peanuts. I just never have peanuts. Now that blows because, like, everything is made with peanuts or peanut dust or something like that.
Tell me about it.
I'd have to be careful.
Yeah.
But I could take being allergic to peanuts. But it's like, well, I mean, look, I can't be allergic to antibiotics and peanuts. Like, then I would just start calling myself D. I mean, come on, you got to give me something in this world.
You see, at least somebody can look over if you're ever in trouble like that. Your allergy. They can say, "Oh shit, here, where's his EpiPen?" They know what's going on with you. See, my body doesn't. It's like fuck even getting the rash or the hives. I get them sometimes, but no, my body's like, you know what? You know what my allergic reaction is going to be? And I know they're allergies because the allergist tested me like fucking 20 times because he couldn't believe how many things. It's like, nope, lung tissue is just going to swell closed and that's it. I'm just going to stop breathing. Not even throat, just my throat sometimes, but not even my throat. It's my lungs that just swell shut. My body's like, hey, wait, was that delicious? Fucking die.
Yeah. Well, my body just, like, I swell, like, the rash and everything come after I try to die. So, like, it's not like let's just start off with this little bit of a rash and then we'll just, like, make it really hard to breathe and then you die. No, it's just like, let's have you die. Oh, crap, you didn't die. Well, I guess you at least have to suffer for the next couple weeks. So let's just go, full body rash. There we go. That sounds good. Let's do that. That sounds like a great plan. God, don't want to die on me? Fine. Fuck you. Rash time.
It's like every time. Rash time. Do.
Yeah, just wild. Well, I mean, I already know what we're because we were talking before. I know what we're not drinking. Well, actually, you are drinking. I'm not drinking. What are you drinking?
Well, wife decided to surprise me. I was going to hold off, because everybody's been, not feeling good. But she brought me over a cranberry, orange juice, and Grey Goose vodka. It's kind of like almost like a sunrise type deal.
All right, man.
This is like one ingredient.
Everybody always hammers on Grey Goose, but I like Grey Goose. Grey Goose is smooth. I like it. It's not the best vodka in the world. Don't get me wrong.
But it's a good smooth mixing vodka.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great mixing vodka.
Makes a good screwdriver, sunrise, shit like that.
Oh yeah, purple peach.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, I'm drinking a nice big old tall glass of water. I've been having I was telling you earlier, just before we fired up, I went and did water aerobics, and I breathed in like a metric ass ton of chlorine fumes, and it raked out the inside of my lungs and really aggravated my my heartburn and stuff. So
it does the same thing to me. Oh my God, it's like, I start having the breathing issues. Like I almost get like a pneumonia from it. I get the heartburn. Yeah. My eyes turn just get so irritated and red and shit. I hate it.
Oh yeah, and it's just like you can't get enough air in, so you get really fatigued and tired. And I'm sitting there going, "Geez, did I actually catch corona?"
No,
corona.
No, you're surviving like I do on a normal day.
Yeah, like that's where I'm sitting there. I'm like, well, like I don't have everything else, but like that's the thing though. Like this new Omicron variant, the three most common things are runny, stuffy nose. It's like, wait a second, it's fucking winter. Like. That's normal. That's a guarantee. What the hell? That's the common thing?
I'm about to say, Omicron's like, I am a great magician. I am just like everything going on right now.
Exactly.
You're sure
that was like last year. That was like last year when they were talking about people, coughing and getting in the lungs. And it's like, dude, it's allergy season. Of course. Like, of course people are going to be coughing. It's freaking allergy season. What do you expect people just not to? Like,
But yeah, with the fear of a pandemic, now it's like every cough and sneeze, and that's going to happen anyway because there's a million other things that can cause it. But now it's like it's like the Inquisition. It's like, reach.
Yeah, I mean, like you got to get like the trifecta going on. Somebody coughs, sneezes, and shits themselves simultaneously. Like they got the Rona. Fucking quarantine that bitch. Get them away from me. I don't care. They're dying, but keep them away from me.
I figure if I catch something really, I just start biting people, Zombie.
Yeah, that's the old joke of the zombie apocalypse is going to go around. We're just going to see you walking among them and be like, oh my God, I can't believe they got D. And then you'll go, what? Got me what? Who got what? Like,
somebody got me a coffee? What?
D, you're walking around with the zombies. They're zombies? Oh. Okay. You guys want a coffee?
I was part zombie once. You know that, right? Literally.
Like the Keith Richards. I smoked your uncle once. Fucking crazy.
Except part of me was actually dead for a period of time.
It's still debatable that part of you isn't still dead right now.
True. But walking around in necrotic tissue and the doctor, after you wake up from a surgery, the doctor going, how you feeling? All right, hungry. I'm feeling hungry. He's like, that's all. You're feeling okay? Yeah, just hungry. He's like, hungry? Which is probably like a warning sign. Maybe.
Like hungry, like human brains hungry? Like, what type of hungry you hungry for right now, guy?
But this was an old surgeon, so he was top of the game, like top of the line, really good surgeon. Wife recommended because she knew him. She worked with him before. Yeah. And he was like, just dumbfounded. He's like, you should be dead, right? He's like, in all my, with all my medical knowledge, all my years of experience, I do not medically know how the fuck you're alive. One, how you were even calm and talk to me, how you weren't either unconscious or already screaming in pain, and two, how you weren't fucking dead. He's like, I don't know how the hell you're walking. He's like, I have no medical idea how the fuck you survived. He's like, you should be dead. That's
and then you
just
no. And then you just look him square in the eye, and with a straight face, you just go, Lloyd weed.
Instead, what I did is I ate all the pudding off the floor. All the vanilla pudding was gone. I ate all the pudding.
Yeah, but if anybody ever asks you again, like, I have no clue how you are medically alive. There is nothing medically sound of why you should be here. You just look them dead in the face and you go, Lloyd weed. And then you just, like, you deadpan it. You just turn away and continue on with the rest of your day. And they're going to be like, wait a minute, is he fucking serious?
They're going to start researching. What does he mean? Is this an herb? Is this something ancient Chinese medicine?
Is this like code for the fucking, what's his face? Like the Garden of Eden or friggin' Fountain of Youth? What the hell is he talking about?
Is he one of the fucking X-Men? What the hell?
Yeah, who's Lloyd? Like, is specific Lloyd? Is this like Dorian Gray? What the fuck is this?
But yeah, you got to look no further than my freaking dad, because I mean, I'm not the only one in my family that did that. Turns out my brother did too. He should have been dead too, and his body just sealed it off.
Yeah, dude, I have always said this, and just coming from a guy who, well, I mean, I've fallen out of trees, been hit by trucks, et cetera, et cetera. You've been there for a bunch of it. Yeah, I mean, the human body. Probably the cause
of some of it.
Touche. But the human body is just a incredible piece of machinery. Like, if you think about it, like, take any other animal. Like any other mammal, sorry, not animal, because if you go animals, you got lizards and shit who can grow back limbs. And I'm not talking about that. But take another mammal. Any other mammal loses a limb, and their life expectancy is pretty much non-existent.
It's over.
Like,
it's over for
even
them.
if they survive losing that limb, unless they are being cared for like a dog or a cat or something like that, their life expectancy is pretty much zero. But a human... And this goes back, I'm not just talking about like modern age. This goes back thousands of years. A human can lose a limb and still survive a really long time. Like, it doesn't slow us down. I mean, well, let me rephrase. It slows us down, but it don't stop us.
Actually, on National Geographic, they were doing a big thing, and there actually was a deer that had 3 legs that lasted a very long time.
Now, there are outlier cases, of course, but I mean, if you take a look at the global numbers of mammals who lose a limb.
The reason why is it was actually one of the smart ones. You see, when they had their little herd, it would always stay in the middle, other than the ones on the outside that always got eaten by the wolves. You had one three-legged one that stayed in the middle and was never noticed as being the weaker one.
And see, that's a show of intelligence. That's where intelligence prevails. Whoever knew a deer could be smart.
Well, some of us have bigger brains. Some of us, I don't know.
Have you seen the drivers down here, man? Snowmageddon's coming tomorrow, and I'm pretty confident. I'm just like, I've got an appointment to Texas de Brazil tomorrow at noon, and I know I'm just going to be sitting there putting right along and just start counting. 1, 2, and the people in the car can be like, what are you counting? I'm like, people off the road. 7, 8.
Not to one-up you, but Massachusetts drivers have been rated as the worst in the entire country, and there's a reason for that. I mean, just a few weekends ago, I had to work overtime, and I almost got hit head-on in a collision by somebody going down the wrong side of a major highway. And the fast lane, no doubt. Not even that they got off the wrong way on an entrance and was coming down. They were in the fast lane, and there was miles before another, exit or entrance. It was like, you had to have been high as a kite and fucking up royally. And there was traffic, so it wasn't like I was the first one they met. Now, granted, it wasn't a lot of traffic because it was early as hell in the morning, but what the hell, man?
I know, man. Dude, like, you just think to yourself sometimes, how do people, like, how did Darwinism not take over? Like, I'm really starting to question Darwinism now, because if it's supposed to be survival of the fittest, how come so many dumb SOBs are still surviving?
Well, because it's not quite survival of the fittest. It's actually the survival of the most passed on traits. So if something gives it a real advantage, it'll typically pass on a lot more traits. The problem is our species became very smart. So through, of course, evolution, we got smarter and smarter. Then we got it to a point where we were taking care of the weak, the infirm, and the stupid. And then our societies built a cushion where stupid could thrive. But we didn't do it. There's no, we have no real natural predators because we separated ourselves with our technology from nature. And now because of our laws and everything else, and because we, have such great, modern day medicine, we can save people from their own stupidity. So now they breed, and now the traits are passed on. So it's survival of the most genes. So now, since the smart people are like, let me take care of career, finances first. Let me maybe later on I'll have 1 kid, maybe 2. And the idiots are like, it's humpy time. Oh, I got 15 kids. I can't afford even 1.
So let me bring this into summation here. So what I'm hearing is we should just take all the warning labels off of everything and just kind of let it sort itself out.
Yeah, I'm not saying do anything evil. I'm not saying any type of, like old Nazi shit. Just take the warning labels off and let the problem kind of just fix itself. Once we just do that, it's like, it'll get better. I mean, we'll have a little bit of pain at first, and we'll see a lot of tragic things like, oh, moron here accidentally blew his hands off again through another set of fireworks. And,
Hey. That's hitting a little too close to home there, Hoss.
I know. Who's the one that almost blew himself up the most amount of times of fireworks? This guy. I do remember a sort running through a fence because we knocked over the whole rig.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
4th of July.
I remember literally buzzing by the dome as we were running. That was a good one.
You were able to go either up or over, and I just went through the damn.
We actually have a topic for tonight.
Yes.
So
ironically,
one of the things I've been trying to do, and I have no clue how long it's going to last, but we're going to see how long we can keep it going. Is we're going to do kind of like a retrospect on a existing game, kind of talk about where it came from and where it is now. I don't know whether you're going to hear it before or after this one, but I did a small, just solo episode of me talking about Subnautica. I was also playing Subnautica at the same time, so don't really expect too much out of it. As I said, I'm trying something new to see how it's going to work. I'm playing the game simultaneously talking about it while you're doing it all alone. Nah, I don't know how well it worked. You tell me. So if you've listened to the episode, write in, let me know. Tell me what you think.
It's a bonus episode, so.
Yeah, it's a bonus episode. Well,
no harm, no foul.
Well, I'll put it in the description that, hey, don't expect too much out of this. It'll also be a shorter episode, too.
Yeah, we're trying to freshen stuff up a little bit. A little differentiation.
Yeah.
Keep it fresh.
But what we are going to talk about tonight is a game called Tabletop Simulator. If you've never heard of it, Tabletop Simulator is actually, it's a really cool, it's a game that you get on Steam. I think you get a bunch of other places too. But it's I got it on Steam. Actually, I just sent over, I had an extra code, so I sent it over to Dee, because I was like, well, shit, I got an extra code. Let me go give it to him. It's made by Berserk Games. It was released in 2015, June of 2015. And it literally is exactly what it sounds like. It's a tabletop simulator. It puts you into a 3D space. And hey, actually, Dee, maybe after the show, we fire up Steam VR, because we both have Quests now. Maybe we fire up Steam awesome. VR and give a shot at Tabletop Simulator and see what it feels like.
Yeah, maybe we could do a review in the VR version at a later, at least a little sub portion of a later episode or something.
Yeah. Or we could just we can make something happen. That's the best part about podcasting. We can make it happen.
And the thing is, we have for the fans out there is we have an Oculus Quest 2 we both have that we're playing with, and so far I'm pretty impressed with the device.
Dude, it's not okay. For what it is pretty effing amazing. It's not like the super high end 8K, Retina display, or not Retina, OLED display, headsets that you get out there. They're not that. They're not like, oh my God, super realistic. But for what they are, they've got and I guess now we're going to just kick into a quick review of the Oculus, and you tell me your opinion on it too. But I mean, it's got hand tracking, so you can actually put the controllers down and do actual hand motion tracking, which is pretty cool. It's completely wireless, so it's got like about a 2-hour battery, which is okay. You can also get battery attachments that go along with it that help out. But it's got about a 2-hour battery on it, and it attaches to your Wi-Fi network, so you can download games right from the Oculus Store. You do have to purchase them in the Oculus Store, so it's not like you can buy something on Steam and then play it in there. But with the new experimental thing, I don't know if you've caught it, there is a Air link that it has, so you can actually attach it without plugging it in physically to your computer,
which is what I did.
Air link it directly to your computer, and it goes over your Wi-Fi. So you can actually still be standing in your living room, but connected to your computer in your office. It's really bitchin'.
And what's cool is I did that, and it's, you could see both my monitors on it. It was really cool. I got both my monitors up. There's like a virtual keyboard. I could sit there and press on my fingers and type the keys. I can move the mouse, click on stuff. I was in another room just playing around. Yep. And I'm controlling my computer, and it's responding and pretty well. I mean, it's a $300 for like the 128 gigabyte version, I think, for storage. It's like $300. So, I mean, obviously, if you get something more immersive, it's going to be a lot more expensive. But for $300, it's pretty cool. It's got a decent, selection of games. And plus, you can link it to your computer to play with the VR that you have on your Steam library. Yeah. And other things. So, it's pretty cool.
Yes. And you can also link, you can also attach Bluetooth controllers to it. So, for instance, let's give you for instance. I want to play Destiny 2. I want to play Destiny 2, but I want to play it in like a huge screen. Like I want to play it on a 80-inch screen. Well, most people can't fit an 80-inch screen in their house. But if you go into VR space and attach it up there, you can actually create an 80-inch display in VR, attach a controller to it, and then play Destiny 2 straight in VR with that controller. And it's pretty boss. There is a little bit of latency with the Air link. It is an experimental feature, so they are working on it.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming it's only going to get better. Yeah, it's a work in progress. You can always just plug directly in and have that full connection there.
But also depends. Also some of the latency is going to also depend on how good your router you have too. I didn't have too much latency because I have a gaming router. Mm-hmm. So, but there was a tiny bit. But that's the thing is it's like I said, it's experimental, it's a work in progress. So the fact that they're doing that, and it's not like it's an added expense, it's pretty freaking cool. Yeah. It's for what they're doing with it, and especially with where they want to go with it, because I don't know if you guys have been checking out, but there's also some really cool, they've been doing some facial recognition. Facial recognition. Facial recognition too, but they're actually doing the biometrics.
It's a facial scanning thing that allows you to actually take your face and bring it into the VR space. So right now you can just have an avatar, which is just a cartoonish version of you that you put in there.
Okay, so they're mixing your avatar with biometrics. So taking a biometric scan and then basically creating your avatar from that instead. So you actually have like a photo of you in there, or actually a 3D you.
It's a 3D you in there, which is pretty cool. So they've got that technology going on, which is pretty awesome. But that led us, that's Tabletop Simulator was what led us into that. Hopefully, maybe after the show, we got to check it out and see what it feels like. But with Tabletop Simulator, they've got a bunch of different, and I'm just jumping on their Steam store. They've got a bunch of different things. They've got 46 different paid downloads that you can get, from Darkest Night to Three Kingdoms Redux to Boss Monster, if you've ever played Boss Monster.
That's a cool card game. It's fun.
It is. It's totally fun. But there's a whole bunch of paid expansions that you can have. Now,
isn't there also, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I also see something where you could create your own tabletop game in it too?
That's what I was just about to say. So one of the cool things about Tabletop Simulator is that it has Steam Workshop capability. So it's integrated with Steam Workshop. Have you checked out Steam Workshop yet on this bad boy?
I haven't.
All right. So let's jump into let's see what we've got out there under the workshop. I haven't been there in a long time, so I might be like all blasted here in a second. But I'm just going to go to their most popular. So we've got Pokemon Legends of Sinnoh. 180 plus minutes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 board games, role-play games, original games. Inscription, the card game, Act 1. I don't know if you've ever played Inscription. I don't know. Okay, so if you haven't heard me talk about Inscription is a fantastically fun game. You totally got to go spend money on it and give these people your money because it is fantastic.
I haven't tried it yet.
Have you ever heard of the Elder Scrolls Skyrim Adventure board game?
Of course.
They have it in the workshop that you can go play. Fantasy character models, Weather Machine. Let me go in here. I'm going to select. Let's go to role-playing games. So I'm going to click on role-playing games and see what we got under there. All right, so we got Broken Crown. We've got Hero Quest. Oh my God. Do you remember Hero Quest?
I do.
They got Hero Quest on there. That's actually pretty badass. I might jump on that.
We might actually end up having some, would it be Hero Quest D&D style? We might actually start doing a few of these episodes where we're just all playing one of these games.
How about this? Give me a board game. Give me a board game that you like playing.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
What do you got?
Risk.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to say. So I'm going to type in Risk.
What about Axis and Allies for something that's a little bit different but similar to Risk?
Axis and Allies? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
That's like a World War II version of Risk, like a World War II with all the different types of vehicles, planes. It's pretty cool. Sorry, Axis and Allies, World War I style. Sorry.
Yeah, Axis and Allies is World War I.
Yeah, World War I. I was being a little goofer there.
Let's see here. I just typed in Axis and Allies into the workshop, and I've come up with several different ones. So I've got Axis and Allies 1914. I've got Axis and Allies Pacific. I have Axis and Allies and Zombies.
Nice.
Right? So, and there's so many different versions of Axis and Allies that's made by different people. So it's really boss. So let me backtrack. Let me go look up Risk and see what versions of Risk we have.
Because there's a lot of cool versions of Risk.
Because if I remember, we were playing a Lord of the Rings version of Risk at your house one time.
Still have it. Heck yeah.
So let's take a look here.
The cool thing of that is you could actually play, like, say, regular Risk on that, or you could play where you're trying to trace down, you got somebody with the ring and trying to get to a certain spot. So there was a couple different ways you could play that. It was a neat little thing. And
so
I'm a big J.R. Tolkien fan.
Risk Europe, Risk Legacy. Have you ever played the Legacy games?
No.
Oh, man. Okay, so their Legacy games they've been like the next step up from board games. I like them and I hate them simultaneously. Like, you played Pandemic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Pandemic Legacy, they had different seasons of it and blah, blah, blah. All fun stuff. But what happens is you play Pandemic like the first time through. And depending on what happens on that playthrough, the game changes. So, for instance, you might draw a card that says, mark this permanently on the board, or cross this off permanently on the board, or tear this card up. It's no longer in play.
So basically it changes the game as you play it. Like, literally changes the game.
The more and more you play the game, the more and more it changes. Now, the downside of it is that unless you're super careful and you don't actually mark things up, you literally make it so that nobody can ever play the game again. Once you play through it once, then it's over. So the replay value is only for how many times you go through the game to finally get to the end of that season. With Tabletop Simulator, though, you can take one of those games and you can play it through and mark it up all you want because it's in a virtual environment.
And you can just restart again and again.
Correct. So one of my favorite games that I've been playing, or that I really enjoy playing, I don't know if you've played it yet, is Zombicide. Have you played it?
I have not, actually.
So Zombicide is like a real favorite game of mine. I really enjoyed it. I even got Lex and Bot to play it. And I'm trying to find, there it goes. If I had to spell it correctly. So it's actually got the first Zombicide right here, and I'm actually going to subscribe to it because, yeah, I want to play it. And that's actually a really cool, I want to see, how it actually works out. But they've got Zombicide, Zombicide 2, Zombicide Black Plague. They've got all sorts of Zombicide here, which I got to admit, making my nipples a little bit hard.
Cutting glass.
But when you get a chance, go check it out. Go see if there's something that you like go see if there's one that you like out there. But let's jump into the actual game. Let's actually fire it up, and let's get your first. I remember how I liked it, and I'll give mine. But I want to hear what your impression of it is. So,
I just launched it, so I have it up in the background. So I'm listening to it. Actually, the little background music in my head as I'm talking to you, because I have it going.
All right.
So I see that it has...
I'm going to turn that music off because that's going to drive me absolutely batshit.
Okay. Oh, it's probably in settings then, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you got settings. Okay, sound.
No, that's not it. Where is it?
Okay, so it's got game volume, main menu volume.
Oh, there you go. Main menu volume is the one. Main menu is what I was looking for.
Yep. So, so I just turned that off. So, of course, that's cool. So they got configurations.
I'm going to create a multiplayer game. I'm going to make it friends only.
Okay, so you got sound. You got all your settings, which is cool. I like that they have, you got to join or create. You got a menu right there in the back. It looks like they have good integration with, of course, looks like Discord, Facebook, Twitter.
And the cool part is that you can make a game. Yeah, that's Reddit. That's Reddit. Reddit, Steam. Those are all the different places where you can click. Those are the different links. But the cool part is, like, let's say you just want to monkey around in here and just kind of mess around. You can create your own game and just make it a private game. You can join in somebody else's game.
And they have the feedback right here. Bugs, suggestions, feedback have to be right there on the right hand side. So it's they got the version at the bottom right. So it looks to be pretty clean, and you got of course the name of the company just small up at the top right. So it's pretty clean right now. I like this. Right here, easy to see. You can see the gear for setup. Looks like there you turn it off. There's a quick power button. We basically shut it off, shut the game off. I wonder what this light bulb is. Tutorial. Okay, so they got a tutorial.
Alrighty, so...
Question is, how do I get out of the tutorial?
Oh, that's a great question, and one I do not have an answer for. But speaking of the tutorial, what's it like?
Hit escape. Main menu. Exit to main menu, yes. So right there it goes, welcome to the tutorial. Please pick up the card with the left mouse, and it shows a board of cards. So it looks pretty simple, and of course, escape, which is... if you're a PC gamer, that's pretty much how you get to main menu and get out of stuff to begin with. So that brings up a menu. There's a little ribbon thing. I'm not sure what the ribbon thing is. Credits. Okay, the ribbon is credits. The one thing I'd probably change is that, because the light bulb is the tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it makes sense, but like if you hover over it, it should probably pop up with a little thing to tell you what it is. You know what I mean? That'd be like the one bit of feedback I'd give them. Because joining create's pretty self-explanatory. The power button's pretty self-explanatory. The gears is. But the ribbon and the light bulb is not as self-explanatory, because I would think like maybe the ribbon is like, say, like stuff you earn, like some of the achievements in, like, say, PlayStation 5 or Xbox. You know what I mean? So that's a credit. So maybe if you have a little hovering, and you get a little thing that tells you what that link is, that might make sense. But so far it's pretty good and clean. It's a good looking menu and interface.
Okay, I don't see you online right now. Are you signed into? Well, can you join me? Does it let you?
There's a bazillion stuff. Server name, game. Let's see. I mean, we haven't gotten. I mean, we're friends in Steam, but not. We haven't. I don't think we've done tabletop. So do we have to add friends in tabletop?
No, it should. You should. If you find me, if you can see me online in Steam, you should just be able to join. It says like, you're away.
I see you. You've been invited. Yep. So you've
I just
been
sent you an invite. It says you're away. It doesn't say you're logged into a game or anything. So maybe you got your settings off.
Shift tab to play. So shift tab to play. All right, I'll find my tab button. Simulator. I'm already in, so I'm already in.
Really? I can't feel you.
But I see you on Facebook. If I click on you, let's look like. Oh, nope. It brings up. Oh no, that brings it up in. That brings it up in there. So let me see. Join. Search. I mean, let's see if I can just search you.
Well, if you shift tab, go over to your what's his faces. Go to your friends list. Do you see me on your friends list, or do you see the text message or the message I sent you?
Yeah, but I was already running it, so I think that's why I couldn't launch it.
Oh, finish your tutorial. Maybe that's why.
Oh, I kicked out of the tutorial. I'm not in the tutorial, so.
Well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
You know what? That's language. You know, let me shut it down. Are you sure you want to quit? Let me see. Let me quit it. Let me go into Steam. Because you sent me a request. Should still be in Steam somewhere, right?
I would hope so.
Friends.
Yeah, you should see messages under there. So as you can see, unless you're working with technically literate people, D,
yeah,
it's usually pretty easy to get it figured
That's the thing
out.
is, it's showing you offline. That's the weird part. Last online 20 hours ago.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh. Well, again, if you can work with technically literate people,
play
Cecil.
Game. So now it's launching. So I clicked play game. So it shows the splat screen. It's loading.
It should load in on this game that I'm playing.
Did you hear me cough?
I see you. No, I didn't hear you cough. Did you cough?
Good. I was using mic mute, but it was launching, so I wasn't sure. Once you open, okay, open.
Yes, you're probably gonna have to say yes to selecting a whole bunch of things.
Yep. So, I see that you're in this. So, okay. So, if you're already running it, you're not going to be able to get into it. So, that's a bug I think we should report. But if you get the invite, you go and click on yes, invite, it'll launch one.
I think it might have actually been a little bit of me not being signed into my friends thing. Because every time I log in, for some stupid reason, it doesn't log me in. Like, it doesn't log me into my friends. So, people can't see me online. But then I say, okay, I'm on, and then it lets me in.
Could be that, but I'm just wondering, maybe we should try again with you logged into that to see if I can do it while it's already launched rather than launching it from the invite. Because it could be a bug in the system too.
Could be.
Going back to basic troubleshooting, be like, let's test this out. Let's see if we can break it and work it. So it looks like, what game is this? It looks like an interesting one.
This is Zombicide. So literally, if you look at it, Zombicide is pretty cake and easy. I've got to spend a little time and figure out like some of the things that would go on here.
Yep. So I got to choose a color.
Mm-hmm.
So let me click green, just because favorite color.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna change my color. I'm gonna select red. So now you should see my hand floating around all over the place. I see your green hand floating around.
Yep. Mine's bigger hand.
Well, your hands are bigger, and that is a thing. But literally, so like,
my palms are huge, but my fingers are short.
One of the things in Zombicide is that when you go and you, oh wait a minute, why can I not? Oh, there we go. So one of the things in Zombicide is you set up the board, and then you take which I got to figure out why I can't pick up any of the cars. I can pick up the other tokens.
Car, muscle car.
But I mean, literally.
Car. Oh, reloaded it.
I'm trying to import all this stuff.
Okay.
Oh, I'm guessing that I didn't download this thing 100%, so I got to go back and... But, so like up here, you should see these human companions, dog companions, are little bags of things, and those bags of things are actually containing tokens and all this other stuff.
No, I see bags.
Biotic?
No, that's Skinner or whatever. Toxic fatties, berserker runners, Skinner runners. Green is toxic fatties. Yeah, I see a sniper companion, a tiny little token right there. I see 4 survivors, 14, 55. All these different things has different amount of survivors at the top left. So tell me about the board. Like, what's all this stuff at the top left? Let's start up and what's the board?
So this is the cool part about Zombicide is that you've got all sorts of different, like these bags right here. You can see that to say 105 all seasons. And if you start clicking on it and dragging tokens out of it, you'll literally start grabbing all the different tokens. Now you can double click or right click and look inside specifically and look for a specific thing. Like, okay, so here, I don't know where you just pulled those out, but these are the different hero tokens or hero cards. So in Zombicide, you pick a card, and then, like, if you click and hold on it, you can use your mouse wheel to turn it around and stuff, which is kind of cool. So you can, like, depending on where you want to sit on the board. So, like, for instance, I'm going to drag this over here on this side of the board and put that there. So, I mean, it's literally just a full-on, it's a desktop simulator. So then this is over here, an XP counter, which for each one of your characters, you're going to have an XP counter. So if you look at your actual character screen or your character card here, what normally happens is right across the top. If you look, you see how it starts out at 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yada, 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 yada. So with Zombicide, how it works out is every time that you kill a zombie, you gain an XP. So each zombie that you kill, you go up 1 experience point. So, like, let's say, for instance, I'm going to put... Are you seeing what I'm doing over here on the left-hand side of the screen? So, for instance, let's say we go through and I kill a zombie with this guy. I would click 1 to say that I'm at 1 experience. Let's say I kill 4 more zombies, so I'm now up to 5. Well, when I look at the card, 5 is still in the blue area, so he still only has this 1 ability. When he goes up to and I kill 2 more, kills up, and he's now in 7. So now he not only has this steady hand ability, but he also has this +1 action ability. Now, the problem with that is that as you gain more abilities and as your characters go up and up in levels, what happens is when you draw these cards, which that's inventory, that's upgrade, bulletproof pimp card, inventory companion, where is the...
Now, I pulled one of those down here, and I can't see any... I mean, what I can see is a little thing like this, but it doesn't show me any stats or anything above it. Like,
okay,
should there be something? I mean, I can see the blue, the yellow, the red, but I don't see any numbers or anything,
So if you zoom in real tight, it doesn't say Phil right there and he's holding a shotgun.
Okay, you got to zoom?
Yeah, so like if you use your mouse wheel, zoom in super close, and you should be able to see the card.
Okay, so you got to actually zoom in.
Yeah, I think you can actually... What is it? I think there's a way to pull it up towards you, but that's part of the tutorial, so maybe it's a good idea to do the tutorial.
Probably is. Like, if I zoom in now, like, I can't really move the screen around, but I can put it right there and zoom in. I can see, starts with a shotgun, +1 action. Yeah. Phil. Okay.
Yeah. So that's his different abilities right there. So if you hold it there, so what happens is as this person starts, actually this person's cool. This person starts with a shotgun or lifesaver. That's pretty cool. So then, and unfortunately, I might have picked the wrong Zombicide to select because the player cards up here didn't load. But all these different cards would have different... oh, here we go. That one finally loaded. So that's the wounded card. Let's put that back. See if I can get those to load. Oh, there we go. Now they're starting to load up. So, like, here's the Ultra Weapons cards. And you should be able to flip them over so that you can draw one. Let me see if I just hit... There we go. If I
Inventory
shuffle.
card? Shuffle.
Yeah, there should be a bunch of stuff on them.
Deal.
I don't know why they're...
Deal to all seated players. I can deal. I can draw.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize that. If you change the angle on your screen so that you can look behind that, there's a whole bunch of like zombies set up over there. Do you see them over there?
Oh, dude, yeah. You use the arrow keys, you can do that, and there's a whole, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is.
I didn't even notice that. Oh, yeah, and there's behind, you've got a couple things, too. So, the cool thing, like, Tabletop Simulator just in, like, this is literally it. So, anything that you can dream up as a tabletop game, you can create. You can, like, literally make this all happen, which is...
I wonder if they have House on Haunted Hill. I've been wanting to play that. I have it physically, but, you know...
Oh, House on Haunted Hill or House on... Wait, what's it called? Is it called House on Haunted Hill?
Maybe not. I'm probably thinking of the movie.
You know what? Let's back out of this. Let's go find it. Let's go see if we can find it. I know what you're talking about. There's like a house on something. Let's just look up House on... House Martian, Renovation House, House Assault, Death House. Well, that sounds interesting. House, Betrayal on House on the Hill?
Yes, Betrayal on House on the Hill. That's what I was thinking of.
They indeedly do. I just kicked out, so I don't know if it kicked you out of the game or not.
Out of the game, yes. I'm back to the main menu.
All right, so I'm going to start up.
I've never played Betrayal on House on the Hill, but my brother recommended it to me. I bought it and everything else, but you know, with the pandemic, I haven't been able to get a group together and play.
Ironically, I have it as well. I have not yet played it. All right, I just jumped in. I'm going to hit invite for you. So I find where the hell you are. Oh, there you are. Bam.
Check Steam overlay. All right, yeah. Actually, when we're ready, I was already in it. It was still launched, and with the accepting the invite from Steam, it popped me right back in it to where you were. So, yes, it actually works. You can have it already launched. Yes. There goes that troubleshooting. That is not a bug. It works.
It's not a bug. It's a feature. So, I honestly have no clue how to play this game. I know how to play Zombicide. I have no clue how to play this game.
Oh, I don't either.
I'm pretty sure that we can figure it out. Like, I can't imagine that would be that hard. And usually, I say usually they come up with some sort of... right there on the right-hand side. It tells you where to get the rules. So we could actually use that, read the rules, and then go from there.
Oh, it's got the betrayal rules right. Yeah. That is a cool feature. So it even gives you a PDF for the rules to play the game. So if you know a game but you don't know how to play it, you just go to that website and you can at least get a set of rules.
So here's a fun thing. Like here's another aspect of the game that's really cool. So you see the dice that are all right here. Exactly. You just found it. So if you click it like that, you can grab all of the dice. So you just highlight them all. And when you highlight them all, you can pick one up. And then when you drag them together and roll like that, they all come together. And then you hit it. And then you can see what you got. Like what did I get there?
Blanks?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm assuming that's part of the game.
Oh, if you hover over it, I'll tell you. No, it just shows the dice.
But like you can only pick up one die if you only want to pick up one die. Or like let's say I'm going to pick up and I'm going to roll 3 dice because that's how this game rolls.
Or you can draw a box like drag and drop. You know, like like you drag them and you just start shaking the mouse and they all come out in a little...
Correctamundo.
That's cool.
And you've got your player pieces here. And as you can see, this is literally just, it's built the entire game right here. I don't know what all these things are. Knowledge roll, sanity roll, might roll. Yeah, I guess we got to read the instructions on how to do this. But as you can see, anything that you can think up of in a tabletop area. That's like literally where you've got here. Now, one of the cool things that I like about Tabletop Simulator, and the thing that really makes me impressed with it, is that, like, okay, looking at this is a fairly big table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I wanted to get all the way, like, I'm seated, like my character is seated over in this spot right here. You see where my hand's waving around. Your character's seated over here, where this is. Well, if I wanted to get all the way, whoops, let me go over here. If I wanted to get all the way over here for some reason, like, let's say all these dice over there. Hey, could you pass me the dice? Somebody's got to literally pick up the dice and hand them to me. Or I don't have to. I can just walk over there and do that and pick the dice up and roll. So it makes it much more accessible. And that's why I want to see what this game feels like in the Quest, because I really feel like it's going to be boss. Now, the one thing I don't remember how to do is there is a way to flip a card over. Like
right
rotate
click.
it and... No, it's F for flip.
Yep. No, but what if you right-click and say you go down to where it says flip? It'll tell you. You got to hover over it.
Right there,
yeah. It says, yeah. So it actually gives you can scroll, you look over it. It'll tell you the actual rotate Q/E, left or right, scale.
I'm looking for the lazy man way.
But it's cool that you can actually right-click and then just hover over, like draw, like what the thing is, and it'll tell you if there's a shortcut key for it. That's a pretty cool feature.
But yeah, I'm assuming that like we can shuffle these cards. And we can shuffle them all so that we don't have to deal with it. And that's the other cool thing, is that you get stacks of cards. It does things for you super quick and super easy, so you don't have to monkey around. And you can zoom right in on something and like really get close to it, or you can zoom out and see everything on the table. It's really cool. Plus, you've got the notebook up. Did you really just flip the table?
I did. I saw the thing. I saw it. I saw it at the top.
Did you just rage? Did you just rage flip the table?
I did. I saw it as an option at the top bar. I was like, does that really do that? And I clicked it because I got curious.
Obviously, we got to turn that off. But there's a whole bunch of different games that you can play on here. Like, for instance, cool. We're just going to start this up.
Oh, no, chess. Oh, I'm sorry, but I was just so curious. And it's like the big red button. I couldn't resist. It has that right at the top. It says flip.
Well, come on, man. I'm waiting for you.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, wrong one. I got back over there. Don't want that. Hold on. That. Now, granted, I haven't played chess in a long time, so you're going to kick my ass.
Well, it's been a long time for me, too.
Oh. And now the quiet part of the show, where we're literally playing a game of chess. If I knew where all the parts were, or all the board calls were, I'd actually call it and be like, knight to rook 4. No, I don't remember all that shit. But like, even for something simple like this, like you can super zoom in.
Which I did, and it looks nice, actually.
Yeah, they're really good quality little pieces. Like, they're not, like, the lighting is good in it. It feels good. Yeah, we really just got to try this out in VR and see what it feels like.
It's pretty neat. Yeah, I think doing this in VR would be really cool.
Isn't it, boss?
It is. Imagine actually grabbing the piece with your hand and like moving it. That.
Yeah, like that's what I'm looking at. Like, oh, this would be pretty cool to just try. Oh, you can flick? Hold on, I gotta try this. Oh, you can actually flick. Huh. Combine. Attach. Oh, what happens when I attach them? Oh, when I attach them, I move them all together. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, I can't flick anything. I'm trying.
Oh, you got to click, drag back. So when you click flick, you click on it, drag, and then boink.
Oh. Oh. Ah.
And then you get angry and flip the whole table.
Oh, dude, it's just such a cool feature. I'm sorry. It's so funny. And then the table kind of goes off in the distance into the void. I'm sorry. That's just so cool.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to turn that off because I know exactly what you're doing all the time.
No,
you can actually set. So if you go into your interface, I didn't even see that. If you were a Kickstarter, backer, you can actually select a specific hand gesture or hand icon. It's like a little robotic looking hand.
Oh, neat.
Go into your settings or in your menu, go over to interface, and then you can see that there's that third one there.
Is that under configuration?
Menu, yeah, configuration.
Interface, yeah.
Because I was looking for controls on how to disable you being able to flip.
Oh, controls. Let's see. Controls.
Yeah, I don't see what I can stop you from doing that.
I see block. Well, you can block people. Okay.
I can block people.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see. Maybe it's under game. Nope, it's not under game. Options. Maybe under options. Game keys. No.
Oh man, you can change the background too. That's that messes with my brain. That messes with my brain. There's under game. No, there's field of view. Why would you need to turn the field of view on up higher on this game? Like, what would the point be? I don't know. But what are your impressions?
Pretty cool. I mean, the flip thing is kind of funny, but it'd be funny like the first time, but after that, it'd be a good feature to shut off. So if you're playing with, it's like rage quitting can kind of be an a-hole move.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a group of people and you got one chuckler that thinks it's funny, I mean, like,
well, try it now. See if you can do it now. Strength check failed. 1d20 equals 16. Do you see that?
Oh, cool. How'd you do that?
Under options, there's permissions, and maybe you don't see it, but I do.
Oh, because you started the game, so you get the options feature because you made the game.
I think so, yeah. And I can select
so
permissions.
You can control it. I couldn't do that. Yeah. So if I could click on options,
I can turn off change color, details, digital, all that stuff.
So basically,
nudging.
I have to pass a strength test.
And I don't think you can. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, natural 20. Cool. That's cool. That's a good way to get it. You know, somebody's like, I passed this, but it's too weak. It's kind of cool. I don't even know how to play this game. I don't even know how to play it.
I've never actually played it.
What is this, Othello, or what game are we playing?
It says Go. Oh, let me load this up. So here we go. So here's something that's a little bit more... Are
these miniatures for D&D?
Yes, they are, but you can see that they're animated. They're not just take a look at this three-headed dragon thing going on here.
Oh, look at this big old dragon.
But it's like full on moving. Here's an ent. You know?
That's so cool.
Here's if I want to build a room right here.
The hell is this thing? It looks like a beholder almost, but
that is a beholder. Oh no, wait, what is that?
It has a weird wings. It doesn't look 100% like a beholder. It kind of does.
Well, it's got the eyes like a beholder, and then it's got wings.
It's got the weird wing things. Skeleton warrior, big old snake. Here. Skeleton warriors.
So, and there's like totally limited by your imagination here on what you can do and what you can add to it.
Look, we can build.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I want to see happen, and I got to start playing around with it, maybe after the show, if you'll entertain me for a little bit. Have you heard of Dungeon Alchemist?
No.
All right, I'm going to show you Dungeon Alchemist after the show, but Dungeon Alchemist is pretty boss, and if we can actually make things happen in Dungeon Alchemist transfer over to this, it's going to take digital D&D playing to a whole new level.
Oh my goodness, dude!
But yeah, so there's a ton of different stuff that's in here.
Look, I'm actually building like a dungeon right now.
No, you won't, not for long, because I just made it all dice.
Roll.
But there we go. Now we can here's rolling 20. I just rolled a nat 20. Did you see that? Did you effing see that?
I do, because if I hover over it, I can see the 20.
And you took it from me. Why'd you take it from me?
I got an 18.
Oh, I can't believe you took that.
I was expecting me to roll like a nat 1, be like, critical miss. No. Dude, I rolled a 1.
Oh, shocker.
That's like, wouldn't it be funny if, man, I did that?
So here's the different dice that you can go in here. So, I mean, it's a really cool environment. The lighting, I think, looks fantastic. I mean, you can zoom right in on things. The textures on them are really good. Like they're not bad. Like it's good feeling. Oh, and you've got all sorts of different stuff. Like you can turn on music in the top here. Like I don't even think I have.
Can you import music? Because that would be a cool thing.
Yes, you can. And that's actually what I got right here. I was trying to see if I had an MP3 that I could just start playing.
Because if you have like a Ravenloft or a darker version, I think. I think the music Nox Arcana, that band, I think is perfect for the instrumental for the mood.
Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Tell me if you hear it. Maybe that had to play. Not all players have loaded the audio clip. Well, it's a friggin' huge clip, so it's only 1 minute and 27 seconds. Well, let's get this thing going. Come on, load up. Well, still saying he's not loaded the clip. But yeah, so there's all sorts of other things in here. You can add components. You can add, so here, I'll go into figures. I'm going to add that figure in there. I'm going to add that figure in there. And what else do we got in here? RPG kit, there we go. I'll add a golem in there, that feels good. I like the golem. And I'll add a Cerberus, because, who doesn't want a Cerberus in there? We'll add a bear, because, bear, you need a bear.
Yeah, but that's one of the cool things I like to do is in a gaming session, it's always nice not to have it, like, loud or overbearing, but have, like, the music for the ambiance in the background, I always like that.
Is it giving you an option to load an audio clip?
Music, unknown title, music player, playlist. Oh, I don't have permission. You have to do it because I don't have permission to play with the music player.
Well, it's just saying not all players have loaded the audio clip, so it's not letting me actually play it. So I was trying to see if you could hear the audio clip that I have loaded.
I cannot. That would be an interesting thing. It would be nice to allow everybody to hear the music. But then again, let me take a look at my menu. Let me look at my configuration because I wonder if... let me go to sound. MP3 volume is there, so I should be able to hear it. Game menus, which closed, and game volume I have. So I can hear the other stuff. So... let me hit the play. You don't have permission to interact with the music player. No. I don't have access. I don't have permission to interact with the music player.
Yeah, so we'd have to play around with that. But it looks like you can import music and actually play it. So, like, that's an awesome feature of, like, you want to have that ambiance in the background.
Did you try importing some music?
I did. I've got one sitting here. And as I said, it just says not all players have loaded the audio clip.
So is it more or less we have to each have the same audio clip then for it to work?
Maybe. Oh.
I'm wondering if that's a way to get around some like copyright infringement or stuff like. I'm wondering if that serves a legal purpose.
Oh, let me do this. Hold on. Let me try. I'll try this. I'll say open. Upload to Steam Cloud or load here. Let's load it up to the cloud. Upload. See what happens there. All right, I'm uploading it now.
Maybe I have to download it.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
It's cool to experiment with this thing to really find out what it can do. It'd be nice if it can do like some cool stuff. Because I mean, with distance that because we used to be close by, but now that the distance states away that we live, and with the pandemic going on,
do you hear it now?
I do not. I heard your voice. Was that music or was it a clip of your voice?
It's a clip of my voice.
I heard that. Okay. I thought that was you. I was like, wait a second. What? All
right. Hold on. Did you just hear me cough?
Your throat. Yeah, you're coughing through your throat.
Okay,
yeah.
so you can actually hear what I've got going on.
But you have to upload it. Okay.
I had to upload it to the cloud so that you could hear it. I don't actually have any music on here. I don't have any MP3s, or do I? Hold on. Let me check. Because I did, at one point in time, have music on this machine. Desktop. Where are you? Vamp songs. There we go. Okay. We're going to make this happen like the captain. Oh, there. So the interface, I got to admit, is a little bit annoying because I can't see my mouse cursor when I'm trying to select through the songs and stuff.
So they could work on that.
They could work on that and give you a little bit more access there. All right, hang on. I'm uploading to the cloud.
To the cloud.
To the cloud. So how's your drink, by the way?
Well, gone.
Oh, good.
I probably shouldn't have sucked it down that fast, but I might ask the wife for another.
Do you hear that now?
I do.
So there you go. So yes, you totally can hear stuff.
I could literally, so I could upload, do a whole set of MP3s.
Did that get lower for you now? I just lowered the music sound. Or is it still super loud?
It was coming in loud, so you might have actually just counteract the fact that it was coming in.
Okay. Now I've turned it all the way up. Can you hear it loud now?
It's not overbearing. It's still it sounds like it's like the same level.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it all the way down so that it's almost muted. Is it almost muted for you now?
Same level. It came in as the same level. Just
interesting. So maybe you can control. Though. Maybe you can control your side.
Let me see. I'll go to music. You control your own volume. That's good. I just turned it down myself. That is fantastic.
So that's a handy thing. So I can start up music, and then you can control how loud it is. So I can say, all right, everybody put it to like 50% so that it's not super overbearing, or just so it's barely in the background.
So it's at a comfort level for everybody else. That's actually perfect. Controlling your own audio. I like that.
And you can so I can change the table.
That's pretty cool.
So I can do here we go, we'll do poker table instead. We'll just go back to square. Oh, bye guys. Here, we'll just, there you go, goodbye. Oh, bye.
Can you fly?
Dump stuff off the screen. I can also change the background. So like, for instance, if I want to make the background look more like an easy peasy sunset in the background, so you can kind of make an atmospheric look there, make it look pretty good.
Wait, let me. Oh, nice.
Or, let me see if I got this.
We're going to have to play around with this with the whole group, man. Maybe get a whole group, like, say, D&D session or, Hero Quest session. This would be nice.
I think it'll take a little bit of time to kind of get used to it, to really get the feel for it.
And those of us with Quest should do it in VR.
Yes. Apps 100%. There, I changed the background now to, that looks
squigglies?
wild.
To squigglies?
We'll turn around. It's not a squiggly. If you turn around and look, you can't look all the way up.
I said turn it around.
But you should see, legs or pants or whatever.
I do.
Yeah, so I just imported a picture and made the picture the background. So it's really, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with it. You can set up scripting. Oh, yeah.
And it was not expensive. I saw, what's the base model? Like $19.99, I was saying?
Yeah,
it wasn't
like $20. Yeah, like $20. Not bad at all.
Oh, that's like a hallway in an industrial building or / outside hallway.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, isn't it?
Look, if you turn to the side, it's German. Oh, was it German?
Was it German?
Yes. German signage and German words. I've been through areas like that.
But here we go into a cathedral. Make it
nice.
Have a table in the cathedral now.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool, the different stuff that you can do here.
On Regensburg, St. Peter's Cathedral is amazing. There's so many sites I want to bring you to one of these days.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of places I want to go. Blindfold? Oh, I can... Oh! You can blindfold people? I just blindfolded myself. Can I blindfold you? Because that will be handy if I can blindfold you. Oh, no way that... Okay. You can do picture-in-picture? Oh, I can do picture-in-picture. I don't know how that helps me. Yeah, that is not helping me whatsoever. That's actually messing with my brain. How do I turn off picture-in-picture? Yeah, I don't like this picture-in-picture thing. It's messing with my brain. Camera. First person mode activated.
Trying to find the D20. Down. Oh, there it is. I just rolled 2 D12s as ones.
Ouch.
Hey, I just rolled a nat 20 with the D20. Nice. I'm just playing around with grabbing this stuff. It's kind of neat.
And I don't know if you see it, but over here, I've got my image for whatever my profile image is.
Yeah,
so if you have a profile image...
Yeah, I can see yours. You got the knight right there.
So if you have a profile image, it'll actually allow you to go in and do that. Oh, I'm actually in first-person mode. Nice. Instead of being in third-person mode, so I can actually move around freely. Oh, I can look up now. That's nice.
Camera mode. Handy. I can go to first-person.
Yeah, go to first-person, then you can actually look up, around, and all that stuff instead of having to be forced into just that one specific mode or one specific kind of area.
Yeah.
And you can get right down in here, too. Like, you can get right up in this thing's grill.
Oh, the wheel no longer works, though, when I do that.
No, but if you use your WSAD...
Oh, so WSAD works instead? Okay, now I can.
Oh,
how
check
the hell
it
do
out.
we have pieces way up there?
I just killed that thing. Watch this. Hold on. Cerberus. See him? You looking at Cerberus right now?
Yeah.
You can actually kill him as part of a thing so that you can...
I just killed the... I don't know what the hell it is. You know, Cyclops, flying fishy fucking scorpion thingy.
Yeah. Pretty cool. This has got a lot of cool stuff in it, and I'm assuming that it's only as however far you want to take it. With how far you can go with it. So, like, there's RPG Cerberus, global events. Yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty fun. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this, and pretty much anything, like whatever you can make a tabletop of, like you can do here. So you can set up a Star Wars tabletop game, and it's all just how much planning and everything else that you want to go put into it, really. Are you increasing the size of that thing?
I am. The beholder thing is huge.
How did you do that?
If you hit die again, they revive. Well, if you right click and you go to scale, you scroll down to scale, you can go up and down. That is cool.
Jesus,
I just made that obnoxiously huge. I made that obnoxiously huge.
Yes, you did. That is obnoxiously huge. I wonder what the golem looks like. Oh, poor golem. Oh, it didn't die, though.
He's a tiny golem.
God, the golem looks really lame dying.
Oh, he's so tiny.
It's so small. But there you go. So this is Tabletop Simulator. But yeah, let's end this show and actually jump into VR on this guy and see what it feels like.
That sounds cool. Well, before we jump out, let's give like overall opinions, good and bad. Let's give kind of a summation, I think.
Give me what you feel.
I feel this is pretty neat. We got to really dig down to see if there's any bugs really. Looks like mostly just operator error so far, no real bugs. I would like the ability to disable the flip because that I could see that becoming a problem.
Which already disabled it on you.
Group. Oh, you did. Oh, by making it impossible because you need too much strength.
Correct.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Whoever starts it has control. And you can import the music. That is really neat. You know what? I don't have any complaints as yet. Even the games you want to play, but you don't know how. You've got the URLs for the rules, for PDFs. Like I said, I think my only criticism then would be just in the beginning, it'd be nice for some of those menu items to be able to hover over and know what they are before clicking them. But other than that, this is pretty solidly done so far. Like, I mean, to really get in depth, I'd have to really play with it. But so far, just scratching the surface, I'm impressed. It's pretty nice, and it has a wide selection of games. Like even some, it's not like Betrayal on House on the Hill is like the most mainstream game you can think of, like Risk or some of the others. So it's pretty cool that they have so many variations too of some of these games.
No, I agree. My summation on this guy is the tutorial is really good to learn the basics. If you want to learn really beyond the basics, like how to create your own game or things on that nature, you got to go a little bit beyond the tutorial. There are resources out there to do it. There is my biggest, I don't want to say complaint, but I guess my biggest gripe is the learning curve that goes along with it. There is a minor bit of a learning curve. It's very simplistic in nature, but incredibly difficult to master. There's very little movements. Now, once we get into VR, I may change my tune on that. And that's what I really want to see, because I might be like, oh my God, this is way better in VR. Holy crap, it's so much better. But I want to see what it's like. And then I might change it in the description and say, hey, that last thing that Cecil said, yeah, it's horseshit. He loves it now. He thinks the learning curve is perfectly fine. But that's probably my biggest gripe right now, is the learning curve on it. It takes a little bit of learning curve to kind of get used to it. And I think the learning curve on creation is going to be fairly large too. I did see some tutorials out there on YouTube on how to do stuff. I haven't dug into them, so I'm not 100% sure how hefty or how hard it is, but I'm interested to see, and I'm interested to learn. Positive side though, is so far every game that I've really wanted to play on here, somebody has already created it. So it's just jumping out on the workshop, finding somebody else's game, and checking out the stars on it to make sure it's kosher and good, and then downloading it and trying it. But I definitely think getting a weekly or monthly. I mean, this, as I said, I want to see what it's like in VR, because if it gives me that sense of presence, like when you're talking and you're talking next to me, if it sounds like you're actually talking next to me in the game, that is going to be right there, hands down. This game has all my money. I want to give them money. How much money can I give them? Because that type of presence. I mean, you're up in Massachusetts. I'm in Virginia. If we could get that sense of presence with each other, like feeling like we're there with each other, that would take, that distance and shrink it literally down to nothingness.
Oh man, imagine you, me, Zyber, or some other guys cracking the VR, playing D&D, have the miniatures right there and talking to each other as if we're next to each other.
Yes, that would be boss.
With our avatars, that look like us, that would be fucking sweet.
Yeah, that would be boss. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to see how we can establish, like there are certain things in D&D games that I want to see if we can establish in it. Like, for instance, I have a GM screen and I have a whole bunch of notes and stuff that I see that you guys don't see. How do I replicate that in VR? How do I make that happen so that I can see a whole bunch of stuff and you can't? Because as you just saw, you could just literally float around and look behind the table and see everything that's on my desk, which we don't want to happen. You don't want to break that.
Possibly just a DM screen with a force field. They're like, players can go.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it. And there's other little things that I'd like to see how we could mimic in Tabletop Simulator if we were going to play like D&D. Like one of my big things that I've grown into over the years is I'm a huge immersion person.
Yeah.
If you're the type of player who is wake me up when it's combat, you're not going to like playing with me, because I'll spend 20 minutes describing a room because I want you to feel like you're in that room. If you do a check, especially when it comes to like information and stuff like that, you won't know what you rolled. And people hate that or love that. It all depends. I love it because you don't know what you rolled, so you have no actual clue. You can't meta your way out of it and going, oh, this information is good, I can run along with this. Or, oh, I rolled low, this information is bad. And then somebody goes, well, geez, I want to try to get information now. I'm like, well, but you just heard what this person said. And yeah, you can do things like just make it that much more difficult and say, well, you failed. Well, I rolled a 19. Yeah, you still failed. I rolled a 20. Yeah, you still failed. They already told the story once, and now they don't want to talk anymore.
But I mean, it kind of sucks that people like meta. It's like, okay, pretend you didn't hear that. It's like, but it's going to be in the back of the mind. So and it's always, but then you sit there and go, okay, my character doesn't know he's going to go this path. This is what he would do. And then it pisses off the whole party. Oh my God, you knowingly screwed us up now.
Well, that's why I like to do like skill checks, and a lot of different skill checks I like to hide off. Like if you do a strength check, it's pretty obvious whether you succeed or not. Roll your strength check. All right, you got a 17. You bust the door down. So like strength checks, no, I'm probably not going to hide a strength check.
But the perception and what you know, can you tell if somebody's lying? You're not going to really know. You know what I mean? That's something that's, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like on some strength checks on like some doors, depending, I might hide a strength check on you. So like for instance, if you come up and you're like, I want to bust this door down, but it's like a steel reinforced door, and your character literally would have no chance of busting this door down, no matter how strong they were. And they roll. I might hide it and be like, yeah, it didn't work. Because even if they rolled a natural 20, I don't want them busting that door down. And if they see the natural 20, they're going to be like, well, I rolled a 20. That's a critical. No, you didn't. I'm not going to explain to you why you didn't bust that door down, but you did not bust that door down.
But you hope you'd also play with people that would know, like, even a nat 20 just makes you, you could do this amazing thing that with a small probability, but there's certain things that you cannot do. Like, if I'm a normal, like, say, person, I'm not throwing a car up on top of a 20-story building. Not fucking, even if I roll that, there's no way.
Yeah, so, but as a DM, you wouldn't let them roll for that. So, like, if there was a door that they couldn't bust down, like, if you were, anyways, and we're getting off topic here, but I want to see how, like, if there's that ability to do that kind of, like, making somebody roll, but the die's hidden from them type of thing. Because that's one of the things that I do. I'll say, hey, look, you got to roll that in my tower. And they'll literally drop their die in my tower. I'll look what the dice say, and I'll say, okay, here you go, and here's what happened. Because as I said, I like people to more focus on the immersion versus the wake me up for rolls.
And it also gives you a chance to also use DM storyline too, because it also gives you this thing where they didn't quite roll, but you want to get the storyline. It's like, I'll fudge it a little. It gives you some leeway too as a DM.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things. Like, when you have first level players running into just stupidly running into a battle, and you're like, oh God, all right, I have to let this happen, but I have to not kill them. And then they do some stupid stuff, and one of them gets downed, and you're like, oh crap, they're downed, and they start rolling, and you're like, okay, they've done 2 failed save throws. I cannot let this person die on their first actual battle. Like, that is not cool.
It gives you some leeway as a DM without like really letting them know. It's and would be some good immersion to see.
You get some players who are like, well, he just rolled 5 rolls, so he had to have rolled 2 of one and 2 of another. So this is the 5th roll. So that means he has to be alive or dead now. And you're like, fuck. You're just like, why couldn't you just shut up for just a second and just hoped nobody realized what was going on, and I was letting him roll until he actually got 3 successes, and I was just using that as his punishment. But okay, you're 100% right. That's his 5th roll, so we got to figure out what's going on now. Yeah, he woke up. Or
sometimes it's best to let that stuff slide.
Well, like the one time I just did, I was like, all right, well, divine intervention happened. Instead of him being unconscious, he actually was able to get up, and he had 1 HP. Like, he physically was able to stand up. Don't know how, don't know why, but it worked. He stood up.
Adrenaline, he got lucky.
Yep. And he shoved a spear through this thing's chest, and it's dead. And you know what happened? He passed out due to exhaustion. It happened. Like, that was his epic thing. That's what he did. But like, I want to see how Tabletop Simulator allows you to manipulate things like that, if you can. Like, I was able to do it in Roll20. And I like that I was able to do it in Roll20 because that made it so, as I said, people would roll, they wouldn't see what they rolled. I would see what they rolled, but they wouldn't see what they rolled. And then it would make it so that I could explain to them what happened on their check, but they would still have that level of immersion. You ask the queen a question and she tells you X, Y, and Z. Well, you feel that there's more information, so you want to press her for more information. She repeats X, Y, and Z. Well, now if you meta that, they roll an 18. Well, I told you X, Y, and Z. This is what I know. Well, you rolled an 18. Okay, yeah, that's really what she knows. Well, if you rolled a 9, she says, I already told you X, Y, and Z. That's all I'm going to tell you. Well, then you're like, well, this person wants to try now. Well, the queen says no. And it's a very, it's a touchy line.
They'll try to meta until you have to throw them in the dungeon. It gets into that ugly line. It's sometimes it's best if people just don't know and they go, okay, well, I got to go with that. I mean, sometimes that makes the best immersion because it's like if you helps along the role play, because if the character really doesn't know, it's really hard to separate the player knowledge from the character knowledge.
Exactly.
If you get a guaranteed separation, like you really don't fucking know. Yeah. Okay, my character most likely do this.
And if you've got a task already, like you got a task, go get X. All right, you've got go get X. At some point in time, you're going to find out more about this storyline. If you're suspicious of the queen, okay, great, you're suspicious of the queen. You can still be suspicious of the queen, but if she tells you something and then you believe her, like, I rolled an 18. She tells me this. Well, I rolled an 18, so that's got to be true. Versus, all right, well, this is what she told her. This is what she told you, and you believe her. And then, just sometimes the player characters go, well, I don't believe her. All right, that's fine. I'm telling you that this is the perception your character got. Now, you roll with it whatever way you want. But anywho, so Dee, where can people find you at?
People can find me, of course, haunting the G.N.A. Discord. I've got my own Microbrew Gamers Discord. I have a YouTube channel, Microbrew Gamers, basically with a Z at the end instead of an S. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I got my own webpage, microbrewgamers.com. Pretty much any one of those spots.
Nice. I'm Cecil Xavier, your host. You can find me on Cecil vs. Games on Twitter, Cecil Xavier everywhere else. Ustream, Twitch, Discord, Steam, Grindr, Tinder, Bumble, wherever. I don't know. iHeartCupid, wherever you're looking for me, you can probably find me there. Where else? I'm in all the Discords. I'm even on Guilded. I think actually no, I won't be on Guilded that much longer because I only went over there really because TPC went over there and they stopped. I think they're changing back to Discord. So, anyhow, you can find me. If I'm not someplace, let me know. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Reviews help people find the show. So if you enjoy listening to us, let other people know. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, MyTuner, Your Listen, Player FM, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, a whole bunch of other places. You can find us on Facebook now. Our entire podcast RS feed is up there. So go find us on Facebook. Look up G.N.A. Podcasts. Get us there. If we're not someplace, let us know. We'll upload there. We don't care. We're actually uploaded to a whole bunch of places I don't even know about. Somebody's like, hey, did you know you're here? No, but thanks for the info. We're upload whores. Yeah, we are. We're upload whores. We go anywhere. We spread out all over the place. We just like to spread out all over the web. We're partnered with Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle is a game purchasing service where you buy games, but with a twist. If you purchase one of their bundles, you choose how much you want to give to charity, how much you want to give to the publisher. You can throw a couple bones to Humble Bundle themselves. It's a pretty cool thing. We're partnered over there, so if you go to buy anything, just put !partner equals G.N.A. podcast at the end of whatever your link is. If there's a question mark in your link, just put the partner equals G.N.A. podcast after that question mark, hit enter, and then buy like you normally would. Then there might be a slider. If there is, put that slider all the way down to 0 for the G.N.A. podcast. We don't want your money. We just want to know that we sent you there. And that shows up on our feed and it gives us information. It tells us that, people that are listening are going over there to buy games. So go do the world some good. Give some charity while you're doing it. We have a website, www.gnapodcast.com. We actually made a couple of little updates to it. I finally updated it since the new year, got all the new episodes up there unlinked. We also linked over the store, so if you want to go buy some swag, you can go over to the store from there. We have a Teespring store, Gutter Shots. Also, I just moved over the articles thing because we just never got around to writing articles. So I just have it linking over to Microbrew's website now. So if you put your mouse cursor over, it even says Microbrew on it. So I'm just
sounds like I'm going to start
on
writing articles again. I'm going to start getting up on my website and updating.
I honestly just figured that if I start, because I always end up writing half of something, I figured it'll give me motivation to actually write something, and then I'll send it over to you to edit. Since, you always send your audio over to me, I'll send all of my writing over to you and be like, bitch, you edit this now.
Like, damn it. Oh, so much grammar to edit.
Yeah, you'd be like, God damn it, how did this guy get his master's with this bad of spelling? Well, thank you, man, for joining me. I had a good time.
I did too, man.
And we'll catch you later. Actually, I'm going to catch you in a little bit because we're going to fire up this quest and check out what Tabletop Simulator looks like.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, man. Catch you in a bit.
All right, later.